Hello and welcome to Big Orbit's Cardfight Vanguard weekly update. My name is James. Today I'll be going through the cards shown throughout the past 7 days. Starting off, we have Nectar's Education Maiden, Maluya. This is a grade 2 that makes use of unwanted tokens with Act, Rearguard Circle once per turn, cost Soul Blast 1 and retire any number of plant tokens. And increase this card's power by the sum of the original power of those units, retired for the cost of this skill. As it happens in the main phase, you can likely replace the tokens, as Nectar are good at making them cheaply, so it's nice that you're no longer going to waste potential token making triggers. Primal Vein Dragon is another grade 2, this one having continuous Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle during the battle that it attacked Vanguard while boosted by a grade 0. When your opponent will call cards from his or her hand to Guardian Circle, he or she must call 2 or more at the same time. A really nice pressure card and a nice way to reward you for making the tokens. Sergeant Marnus is a grade 1 with auto Rearguard Circle when placed from hand to Rearguard Circle with another powered 10,000 or greater unit, draw a card, and this unit gets plus 10,000 power until the end of the turn. So just to clarify, this card needs to be placed on top of another unit with 10,000 or more power. Another way of removing your tokens for powering up, but the draw is what really makes this card great. Lastly for Neos, we have a 12,000 power vanilla card, Gloriosa Knight. Onto Great Nature, we have the VR Holy Great Sage of Black Shadows, Isabel. Her skill is Continuous Vanguard Circle. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you perform both of the effects of perform one of the effects. Keep in mind this takes effect for all of your units. And she also has Auto Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle. When placed, cost Soul Blast 1. Put the top card of your deck into the drop zone and perform one of the effects below depending on the card's type. If it's a normal unit, this unit gets plus 15,000 power, and if it's a trigger unit, return the card put from your deck into the drop zone by the effect to your hand. And bear in mind this also works on Rearguard Circle, which is really good for a VR. We also get the RRR grade 2 Scientist of Black Sheen, Matilda. She has Auto Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle when placed, costs Counterblast 1, put the top card of your deck into the drop zone and perform one of the effects below depending on that card's type. Normal unit, until the end of the turn, when your opponent would call cards from his or her hand to Guardian Circle, for the battle that it attacked, he or she must call 2 or more at the same time. Or trigger unit, this unit gets plus 1 critical until the end of the turn. So pulling off both these skills is a very deadly combo. And considering your VR lets you do this, this becomes a very troublesome unit for your opponent. Another RRR is the grade 1 Prober of Black Jet, Cecile. It has Auto Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle when placed, costs Soul Blast 1. Put the top card of your deck into the drop zone and perform one of the effects below depending on the card's type. Normal unit, Soul Charge 1 and it gets plus 5,000 power, and trigger unit, draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards from your hand. That's an incredible hand filter, but greatly increases the risk of deck out, especially for Great Nature. But it does help with the card shown later on. Observation Scribers. Sunny is a grade 2 with Auto Rearguard Circle once per turn. When your Vanguard attacks, if your card is put from your deck into the drop zone this turn, cost Counterblast 1 and stand this unit. The chances of meeting this condition is incredibly likely, and with Accel Circles, this will give a good chance of the attack hitting and makes it quite a deadly unit. We also have the grade 1 with Solution Tenric. He has Continuous Rearguard Circle. During the battle that it attacked, if your drop zone has 25 or more cards and this unit is on an additional Rearguard Circle, your opponent cannot call grade 0 cards from his or her hand to Guardian Circle. Now, in most decks this amount of cards in the drop zone would take quite a while, but for Great Nature, especially with the draw 2 and discard 2, there's actually a pretty good chance this will go off mid-game. Lastly, we have Gold Paladins. To start off, we have the Hardworking Knight Arianol, a RRR grade 2 with Auto Rearguard Circle. When it attacks, perform all the effects below according to the number of rearguards called this turn. 2 or more, this unit gets plus 5,000 power until the end of the battle, and 4 or more, you may then give this unit plus 10,000 power. If you do, at the end of the battle, put this unit into the soul. So if it was called through Agravain's skill, it gives more soul charging for Agravain's 12 Soul Blast. Another card that helps the soul is Interlude Angel. A grade 1 with Auto Rearguard Circle. When placed by a card's ability cost, put this card into your soul, look at the top card of your deck and call it to Rearguard Circle. So it gets you one step closer to your goal, and if you have multiple of this coming out with Agravain's first skill, then your soul is going to rack up really quickly. Sorcery Uprising Koiras is a grade 2 with Auto Rearguard Circle. When placed, if your hand has 1 or less cards, costs Soul Blast 1. Until the end of the turn, this unit gets boosts and plus 10,000 power. This makes great use of the fact that you'll be wanting to call a lot of cards each turn and eating away at your hand. It kind of feels a bit like how Brave was. Very lastly, we have the grade 2 Providential Angel. His skill is Act Rearguard Circle. If your hand has 1 or less cards, cost Counterblast 1. Until the end of the turn, your opponent can only call 1 Sentinel from his or her hand, and this unit gets plus 10,000 power. So it's working off the same conditions as the last one, but working as an act can help a lot, as if it's brought out through aggravating skill, then if it stays there at the end of your opponent's turn, you can do it at the beginning of your turn, and it still takes effect even if the unit isn't there. So this really works well for aggravating. And that is everything for this week. Be sure to check out next week when I'll be going through the card showing throughout the next 7 days, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!